Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at, whatever time zone. For those who are new, welcome. For those who are coming back, thank you for coming back. So, for the next few months, we're going to learn about crypto because knowledge is power, right? I need to get educated on this, speaking for myself as well, because it could be the next wave in our future. So, we need to get educated on it so we're not scared of it. As with everything in life, things change. So we need to get smart, wise on it. I'm going to go off the screen for a second here. I'm not going to leave my face up. I usually don't. You'll hear me talking in the background. Okay, so if you remember, we started off with cash. Then we went to checkbooks. Then we went to the cards. If I'm missing a step, let me know in the comments. So we went to the cards, and now the cards are becoming like everything's on the phone now. Well, not everything, but a lot of it is going to the phones. So the next thing I think, in my opinion, from just reading, is going to be cryptocurrency within the next 10 to 20 years. The checkbooks are starting to fade out, even though I see a lot of people still, older people pulling out checkbooks in the supermarket. This video is probably going to be more than one part because it's a lot. And I'm going to start posting my money stuff, well, some of my money stuff, this kind of stuff, crypto, Bitcoin, on Sundays usually for the next 6 months or so. We'll see how this channel goes and what people are interested in. Just so you know, I get most of my information from I am not an expert on this. I'm learning it myself. So that goes for most of my stuff, that I pull it off of Kiplinger, Money Mag, and Harvard Business Review. I pull all my information from those. So those are my resources here. So you don't think I'm just making this stuff up off the top of my head. I mean, even if you're not ready to invest in crypto, it's important to understand the role it plays in our modern finance. Whether or not you dabble in cryptocurrency, it's hard to avoid hearing about it these days because Bitcoin has taken investors on a roller coaster ride, with the price of the Bitcoin surpassing 60,000 a few times in 2021 and dipping as low as 30,000 between peaks, including mid-May. The major Los Angeles sports and entertainment venue, formerly known as Staples Center, bears the name of Crypto.com Arena. And well-known figures like Tom Brady to Kim Kardashian have touted into cryptocurrency. So some of our big-time people have went in this, but eventually, it's going to trickle down to all of us. Might take a little time with all the noise surrounding it, and not to mention the accompanying jungle of terminology. It's easy to write it off as a fad, but I don't see it that way, and neither does the experts. It's kind of complicated and it's risky to consider right now, and a lot of us are still skeptical. But just like I said before, power is knowledge, and you want to learn about it because in 10 to 20 years, it might become the thing, and you don't want to be so nervous about it that you're still carrying around a checkbook while everybody else has moved on in life. As with anything in life, our technology changes, and we have to learn to adapt and not be afraid of it. Try and learn as much as you can so that you can survive in the next generation. Research firm Insider Intelligence predicts that almost 13% of the U.S. population will own crypto by the end of 2022, which is coming right up in about 6 months, compared with nearly 11% last year. So it is definitely going up a little bit. You may not dive into the crypto exchange today, but getting a handle on what crypto is, how it works, how to use it, and how to decide whether it will be in place of how it will play a role in your life is important. And if you want to dip a toe into it, that's what these next few videos, in the next coming months are going to be about, is to understand some of the basics. And I have several videos coming out on this, and I'm sure there's several other ones out on YouTube now. But we want to break this down in layman's terms for all of us, including myself, who don't know a thing about it. So we're not nervous to use it. And we won't be in the future. Cryptocurrency is any digital currency that operates on a decentralized network. And I did put out some videos explaining what the difference between decentralized network is. There's no government, bank, or any other central authority required to oversee it. The transactions are authentically using encryption. And I did some videos also explaining what blockchain is. And blockchain is a technology that records the transaction, and it's also described as a distributed ledger. So if you have any further confusion on what these things are, then go and look at some of my other videos that break these down. And I believe they came out. I believe I have them coming out before this. That way you can, or maybe in between. Maybe I'll do them in between. That way it will help you know what I'm talking about. It'll explain what the blockchain is, what the decentralized network is. So all these terminology will not be totally foreign to you. A public blockchain through the internet. Why you don't need to be afraid of it, and we'll explain how things operate. Bitcoin emerged in 2009 as the first cryptocurrency created by, we all know his name, I can't pronounce it, but Nakamoto, and it remains the most prominent form of crypto. Bitcoin is the most known crypto, but it's not the only one. Other things are emerging. In the next 10 to 20 years, it'll be interesting to see how many more we have. Despite its genesis as a way to sidestep the traditional financial system for monetary exchange, it became the most popular as an investment and store of value, drawing comparisons to gold. All right, Ethereum is second to Bitcoin, and some of the other videos I put out, it also goes over this Ethereum and explains it a little bit. It acts as an investment in currency. It's a platform that has various applications, holding non-fungible tokens or NFTs. It also explains on my other video what that means in detail, because I'm not going to do it on this video as well. The crypto exchange Coinbase calls DeFi an entire digital alternative to Wall Street. There's a lot of YouTubers out there that are have a lot of YouTube channels explaining this more in detail. But this is a money get wealthy channel, so we need to go over it for those who are sticking with this channel. And these videos aren't going to be super long, but I try to cover a little bit of detail on each of them and not make them super long. Thousands of other cryptocurrencies exist, like stablecoin, Tether, USD coin, or other types of cryptocurrency that peg their value to like gold or fiat currency, like government-issued currency, such as the US dollar that's not backed by a commodity. Stablecoins are designed to minimize the volatility that goes along hand in hand with other cryptocurrencies. And these are important. These are appealing to crypto investors as an exchange medium rather than involved fiat currencies when trading among more volatile types of crypto. Which may incur extra fees. Investors can use stable coins because they're less volatile than other cryptocurrencies. So stable coins have the potential to be more widely used for buying goods and services. Advocates see crypto and blockchains as deeply transformative, and it's important that computer science innovation, it represents nothing short of the second era of the internet, says Alex Tapscott, the managing director of Digital Asset Group. Just as the first era of the internet changed the way we communicate, the second era is ushering in a revolution in financial services that will make the economy basically unrecognizable in a couple of decades. What did I just say, right? I said in the next 10 to 20 years, you need to get educated on this now because it is coming. And the knowledge is power, like I keep repeating myself. So the more you understand it, the less you'll be afraid of it and you can move on. We don't want to be walking around with plastic cards while everybody else has moved on to crypto, right? And wherever society is going, we want to make sure we can go along. We don't want to be carrying around checkbooks to the grocery store when everybody else has moved on to cards and their phones to pay for things. Blockchain is potential that goes well beyond crypto, from managing supply chains to making home sales more efficient. Government officials see promising risk in digital assets, and some lawmakers and regulators believe that stablecoins could become commonly used for payments. The U.S. Treasury Department recommends that, like banks, stablecoin issuers should be insured through institutions with reserve requirements. So it sounds like they are working on ways to protect the public from things happening, is what it sounds like they're working on. Earlier this year, crypto industry largely welcomed President Biden's outlined measures government offices will take to ensure responsibility of digital asset development, including the protection of consumers, investors, and businesses, and ways to mitigate illicit use of digital assets through regulation and law enforcement. So they're working on how to get this more regulated so that people are not so paranoid about using crypto. Crypto critics point to the negative environmental impacts, including the large amounts of energy required to mine, produce new bitcoins. Exploration by criminals for money laundering and other illicit activities have a lack of depth as an investment. Crypto is simply a medium of exchange. It gives you a piece of ownership. It doesn't give away your ownership to the company, and you can't do anything to improve its performance. This is from a certified financial planner. The digital dollar could be coming. Yes. An executive order this year, President Biden directed the U.S. government to investigate whether a central bank digital currency, CBDC, a digital version of the dollar that the Federal Reserve would issue, is in the national interest. The executive order notes that more than 100 companies or 100 countries are exploring and piloting this CBDC, as well as Nigeria and a handful of other Caribbean countries have launched them. El Salvador has adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender, so do expect this, everyone. According to the Fed, a CBDC, which is a central bank digital currency, would exist alongside our cash as we know it today, expanding safe payment options rather than shrinking or replacing them. So consumers have a really hard time figuring out what is not legitimate cryptocurrency and what is, because I think that's a lot of the nervousness right now is doing all this digitally. Can they just take our money quicker? A digital dollar wouldn't come without risk. The Fed points out that it could fundamentally alter the U.S. financial system. It could reduce deposits in the banking system, which could cause banks to lower the amount of money they lend or to raise the cost of lending. So there are some downsides to this going all digital. So there's a lot of things they still have to work out, and the ability to quickly convert commercial bank deposits into a digital currency could make a run on financial firms during an episode of financial panic, according to the feds. All right, so we're gonna shut down this video right here. And we will do a part 2, maybe even a part 3 in the coming week. And, you know, I usually do one of these a week. So be on the lookout for it. And we'll continue talking about this because it is our future. And so we do need to keep talking about it. Thank you all. Thank you for subscribing, for watching.